Sorry guys, I got some really bad news for you. Looks like Mistborn Era 2 is going to I'm just kidding. Mistborn Era 2 is still going to happen. Let's talk about May, June, and July TBRs. Hey, what's up, bookworms and TBR fanatics? I know that if you're like me, your TBR changes constantly, but I've tried to get more structure as this channel has grown, and I think I've done a decent job at that. I don't feel like I usually go too far off the rails. I mean, if you go back to when the channel was in its fledgling state, and I did hey, here's my plans in 2019, and like 2/3 of those books aren't on my list to read, nor have I read them or whatnot. I think that I've kind of stuck myself into a corner when I was trying to do Wheel of Time and Witcher and Dresden Files and Cosmere all at the same time. So I took a step back with some of that stuff and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I still plan on keeping the same Brandon Sanderson schedule leading up to the release of Rhythms of War. Is it Rhythm or Rhythms? I don't even know. Stormlight 4. Well, let's call it Stormlight 4 for now or whatnot. But the Dresden Files read is going to be coming to a close here relatively soon. Finished Wheel of Time. And Witcher will fall back onto the schedule sometime in the fall. You know, there's no worries about season 2 coming out before I read the next books. So, you know, with the whole virus that shall not be named, obviously things like that have been delayed a little bit even longer than they already were. So I think I'm safe there. But I did want to be the guy who does a TBR list every month. Not a video for it at least. I mean, if you're on the Discord, please drop in the comments, in the description there, and click the Discord link. Join us on Discord because I think we have some really good conversations there. I'm trying to get used to saying that every episode. And we're up to like 400 users now. That's pretty cool. But what I want to do here is just kind of reset everything, talk about May, June, and July. I want to talk about what I plan to read. I know I told you guys about a month ago about my schedule of binging through the Dresden Files and then doing Wheel of Time, finishing as I finish Wheel of Time and whatnot. That's still mostly the case, but I've added new things in there. If you've been following the channel, you know I've gotten into reading The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne, which was something that I wanted to do for a while. So finishing up in May, I've already finished the first 2 books, Malice and Valor, and I'm going to be starting Ruin here very, very soon. I've got like 50 pages left in Valor right now. Very, very good. But yeah, I'll be continuing that for sure because, man, you look at these are just massive books. God, I don't want to say they're easy to read because there's a lot to them, but they're never difficult to read, if that makes sense. Once you get the characters and the locations down, these books are just zip right through, and everybody tells me that book 3 and 4 are like on another level. So I'll be starting that one soon, and then I will be continuing my Dresden Files read with Turncoats. You know, I feel like this is the calm before the storm or whatnot. I really liked Small Favor. I'm going to be talking about that in a video here sometime soon. And then the one that everyone has been licking their chops for, happening at the end of May. Yeah. I think since probably book 3, every comment has been, wait till you get the changes, wait till you get the changes, wait till you get the changes. I'm like, well, I'll worry about book 12 when I get there or whatnot. So it's now finally within grasp, and nervous excitement? Is that a good way to put it? Nervous excitement? Because I think that the reason everyone can't wait to see my reaction to it is because apparently it's very devastating. So I'm expecting lots and lots of death. I don't know. We'll see. But that will be wrapping up May. So a month of John Gwynne and Jim Butcher. So I got my swords and I got my magic. I'm pleased. I'm very, very happy with that combo. I usually try to balance fantasy with this little science fiction or horror or whatnot, but I feel like Dresden Files is so different with its urban fantasy than epic fantasy that, you know, that's something that you can kind of do at the same time. And that's what I'll keep doing as we move into June. Something I think I wanted to do in June was apparently really just put my back up against the wall because, you know, I'm coming up on that release date of Peace Talks here in July. And I was originally supposed to be getting an advanced reader copy of it, you know, but then the whole virus that shall not be named came out and it just kind of ruined everything. I don't think I'm still getting that because as far as I know, I have some friends that are some friends of the channel rather that work in the publishing industry, and they said, yeah, All those publishers are based out of New York, and they are on lockdown right now. So don't expect to see that. I mean, I could still get an e-galley or something like that. Who knows? Who knows? But as of right now, I'm not planning on it. And that's why I kind of scaled back my rush to be able to finish these all before June or whatnot. But that's why I started filling in the Faithful and the Fallen series, because I thought I can do that on the side here and not be rushed or anything like that. But this is apparently one of the best final books in a fantasy series ever, if you believe the reviews on Goodreads or whatnot. I don't see why they would be lying, and I don't see why that shouldn't be the case, because I'm almost halfway now, and the series is just fire. It's just fantastic. I can't believe more people aren't reading this, and I'm going to keep preaching that gospel if it ends half as good as it started or whatnot. But here we go. Dresden Files. I will be current at the end of June by finishing Ghost Story, a book I think gets lots of mixed reactions. Some people, I think it might just be because it comes after Changes, which is supposed to be the big change in the series, pun intended there. But I don't know if it's that, or apparently just said it was Butcher trying something different and it didn't really land or whatnot. But we shall see. Then we got Cold Days, and I'll be ending it up with Skin Game. Now, the whole question about will you be doing the short story stuff? If I have time. If I have time, I will read Briefcases and Side Jobs. Not sure if I'll be doing reviews on those because they are just short stories, and I hate doing short story collection reviews. But my whole goal with that is, I feel like with that stuff, a lot of people are like, oh, you should be reading it chronological. I will be reading Aftermath. Everybody's told me you got to read Aftermath after you do Changes because it actually matters. So I'm okay. The rest of them, they say you can fill those in later, and it'll just be like, hey, cool, you've gotten a few gaps filled. It's nothing that's mandatory reading or whatnot. So if I have time and I'm waiting for Peace Talks, sure, maybe I'll probably pick those up and talk about them and whatnot. But as of right now, I just want to read the main 15, and you know what then? I'll have a few weeks wait for Peace Talks. And I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for 5 years, and you're just like at me right now, and I understand. I understand. That's how I felt when people first started reading A Song of Ice and Fire, where the series came out. And after when that first season was coming to an end, A Dance with Dragons came out. But you know what? The last laugh's on you, because you're still waiting now, aren't you? What you guys have been waiting for, I think, is me to finish my Mistborn trilogy reviews. It never meant for it to be this long or whatnot, the wait for Hero of Ages. I just I guess I felt like I kind of dropped the ball on the format for those reviews, and just kind of took the wind out of my sails, because I feel like I really messed up on those. So I never got to the Hero of Ages review, but I'm going to do it because I am a completionist by nature. I'm going to do it before I get to Era 2. Era 2 is something, when it came out, I wasn't really I wasn't a big-time Sanderson follower yet. When I finished the Mistborn trilogy, then I started reading the Stormlight archive, and Stormlight was when I became just a straight truther for Brandon Sanderson or whatnot. So when these came out, I was like, I don't know if I want to read that. I liked the way the trilogy ended. I think the first, might have been the first two, but at least this one was already out when I finished, by the time I had read the Mistborn trilogy. And I was like, I don't know, years later in a steampunk setting, and we don't even have any of the same characters. I don't know. I'm so satisfied with how the Mistborn trilogy ended. I never read these, but you know what? We're doing the whole Cosmere 2020 thing, so it's finally happening, even though against my better judgment, when I should wait until next year when the final book in Era 2 comes out. But like I said, I backed myself into a corner there. So we will be starting Era 2 sometime in June, wrapped around the conclusion of Dresden Files and the conclusion of The Faithful and the Fallen, headed into July. Now this is going to seem like a busy month, and it is. And I always kind of overload these in case I want to drop something off, and I don't feel bad about it. So it probably does seem kind of heavy looking at it from this point of view. But I have my kind of internal schedule about what can and can't fall off. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to get, oh, no, you can't do that or whatever. But obviously the big one in July is going to be Peace Talks. That's going to take priority over everything. I think it's July the 14th. So when it drops, that goes straight to the front of the line because I want to be able to talk to you guys about it while it's fresh or whatnot. And I'd like to actually be there a little early, so maybe I can do a wish list or something like that, or a theories, speculation, and just get a started discussion going where we can talk full spoilers for the whole series, and we can talk about these things that you guys have been really good about. Almost as good as the Wheel of Time fans about not spoiling stuff for me. So I really appreciate that or whatnot. But what else we got going on that month? I would like to continue my ride through Rhaenyra. I really, really liked Theft of Swords. The first two books, Rise of Empire is Era of Nifron Rising and Emerald Empire. So yeah, I'd like to. These were not difficult to read at all. I thought they were really fun. I loved Royce and Hadrian. You can check out that review if you want. I mean, even Michael J. Sullivan enjoyed my review of there, and that me tooting my own horn there. That was great. That was the first time I had confirmation that an author had watched one of my videos, so it was very, very rewarding or whatnot. But I've had a little bit more, since then. Thanks, John Gwynn. Anyhow, what else? I talked about that I wanted to be starting this soon, and that is my next big series after The Faithful and the Fallen. It is the first book in the Lycania. Can you guys see that? I know these white covers. The first book in the Lycania trilogy by James Islington. This is The Shadow of What Was Lost. And God, these covers are sexy. Good Lord, is that a big daddy? I think that's the biggest trade paperback I've ever seen. I know there are bigger books. There are bigger Stephen King books. I don't think I've ever seen the trade paperbacks. I've seen the mass market ones. But this, I mean, look at this. This thing is monstrous. I had them on the shelf next to the Demon Cycle. There's the hardcovers, same size. Nuts. Nuts, right? So yeah, these are big boys. These are big boys. So I want to make sure I'm done with Faithful and the Fallen before I start that. And a lot of people said, I just have a hard time believing you're going to not pick up the Blood and Bone if you're enjoying John Gwynn this much. Guys, I always like to take a break in series, especially if there's a stopping point like there. Look how much I love Red Rising. I took a break before I read Iron Gold and Dark Age. I'll just like to take breaks in my series, especially if there's a breaking point, because I think that helps to avoid burnout. But with Lycanius, that's something I kind of want to do like one a month over that summer, July, August, September. That is kind of the goal there. But while I say I've heard mixed feedback on Lycanius, I say it's mixed feedback is in like 90 to 10 positive. Lots of positive. A lot of people saying that like that has like one of the most satisfying endings to a trilogy that they've ever had. And I think that's one of them. I had somebody tell me it was as good as the Mistborn trilogy's ending. Well, that sounds incredibly satisfying because it seems like everybody always tells me that trilogies endings are bad. It seems like someone's always displeased with it, but very happy to hear that. Something that usually skips the front of the line is Sai King. I think the reason that this one didn't is just because it's I'm always kind of mixed on his novella collections. I feel like back in the day, yeah, they were usually all hits. Now I feel like he gets about 2 out of 4. I'm really interested in the Holly Gibney one in here, obviously. I talked about it in my book haul, why I'm excited to read it. I mean, it's King. I'm going to read it. I mean, I'm always going to be excited because that's my guy, right? But that would probably be happening in July. It would be happening a little bit early. It would have moved straight to the top of the line if it was a brand new novel. Yeah, okay, that's just the rules. Joe Abercrombie and Stephen King go to the front of the line whenever they have anything new coming out. But I will be closing out July by continuing Era 2 of Mistborn with Shadows of Self. Does that look like Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, anybody else? I don't know. I don't know if that was accidental or not. Anyhow. But guys, that is the TBR for May, June, and July. I don't know if anything will be falling off. Obviously, Dresden Files and Cosmere stuff will not be falling off under any circumstance. Okay, if there's got to be sacrifices, it'll be the other stuff. I think of the ones that I listed here, Rhaenyra would probably be the one that kind of slides down another month or whatnot. Because I know I did do June and July quite heavy there. But if you read those Dresden Files books, you know you can read a Dresden Files book in a couple of days if you really want to. Personally, I'm enjoying as much as I think we're all exhausted with quarantine, I'm enjoying the extra time with the kids, spending time with them, doing stuff of just ridiculously stupid stuff like water gun fights and jumping on the trampoline. And, anytime I can get them to go outside and get some sun, that's kind of what I'm into. And we're continuing reading Harry Potter. We're reading Goblet of Fire together right now. So lots of reading going on this month, guys. What is on your TBR for the next couple of months? Or just May? You just want to talk about May? Tell me about May. It's good to look forward. Guys, I have my schedule planned through March of next year. I'm just not going to hit you with all that because I know it'll change. It'll be kind of funny in hindsight. But I have had the big question of, okay, well, you're starting all these other series earlier that were on your 2021 list. Does this mean you're going to start Malazan early? No. Malazan and Realm of the Elderlings are not until 2021, so please stop asking. I'm very excited to read both of those series, but those are my big ones in 2021. And I got a lot of people that they're saying that they're willing to read along with me during those. So those are locked for January. I'll be doing Assassin's Apprentice and Gardens of the Moon. So there is the answer to that inevitable question. So hit me, guys, in the comments with what's on your TBR, or if you have thoughts on any of these, let me know. There are no wrong answers here. So hit me there, guys. I'll talk to you then.